Good afternoon guys, and welcome back to another course management session here at Rotherham Golf Club. We are in April, leaves aren't back yet, but we've got a good morning for it anyway. Last week you'll have seen we played Stroke Index 1. I was very lucky to get out of there with a birdie, so I played sensible. I hit 2 4-irons to get to the green and then hold a putt that I probably shouldn't have or wouldn't hole again if I tried and stood there all day. But today we're here on the 6th hole. We have got 362 yards, and instantly people here start to think fairway's quite wide, there is a ditch up the right hand side, but I need to get as close as possible because this is one I can take advantage of. You will see here I've got my 7-wood out. There is a ditch, like I said, on the right hand side, but it does come into the fairway around about 240, and especially when you're thinking about the summer and thinking about firmer conditions, even if you're carrying your driver 200 yards, 220 for the average golfer, it's going to run out and there's potential for it to go into the ditch. So we need to make sure that we're always short of that trouble, but probably as close as possible. We don't want to be trying to take something off something, because that's when I see people start to guide it. Oh, I could just take a little bit off my driver, they duck hook it and it goes in these bushes. It's no good to us. So there you want to think, right, even if a 3-wood gets you 20-30 yards short of that, if that's as close as you can get but you can commit to that shot, that's the best club to go for. Don't try and change, don't try and manipulate, because when I see golfers try and manipulate, a lot of the times it goes wrong. So here I'm going to go on the right hand side of the tee box. I'm going to just play a normal 7-wood. I'm going to start it up the left half and play for my normal shot. And this is the thing on here, guys, you need to be able to commit to your natural shot. If you've gone on the driving range in the morning, if you've hit some balls, but if you haven't hit any balls, maybe in your first couple of holes, start to see what your natural shot of the day is. If you are hitting a little fade or a little draw, set up to that. We're now into the round, we know what shot we're playing for that day. Don't try and manipulate it and get a shot shape that you're used to. Let's just play with what you've got on the day. So for me, like I said, the natural fade of the ball, I wish I could draw it, but it's not something I can do very well. Again, nicely started up that left hand side, faded back ever so slightly, and that's now giving me a good angle into the green. So trying to play just down the left half more than the right half of the fairway, and think about holes at your course which are shorter. The ball is above my feet. We're going into a green where we're trying to flight something in. We're not going to have as much control. So playing up for the left-hand side of the fairway for me gets me onto a flatter area of ground. It gives me an easier chance to get the ball close. I know we can't do that if we want on demand all the time. I know I certainly can't. But have a look, if there's some slope on one side of the fairway, do try and favour the other, because it's only going to make it easier for you to get a better strike. Right, we're up here in the fairway. I am on the flat area. You can see that there is a big slope on the right hand side. We can get stuck there with the ball above our feet and on an upslope. You'll see that I'm around about 30 yards short of the end of the ditch, and I've hit the golf club that I think would get me the closest. So 7-wood, I don't have anything between the 7-wood and my driver at the moment, but a 5-wood would be very close. If I leak that one a little bit, I'd be in the hazard, but also on the left I could potentially be blocked out. So here I've ended up in probably the fattest part of the fairway. It just get a little bit wider past these big trees, but knowing the golf course and knowing what's off the tee is essential there. So if you haven't played here before and you follow the ditch, you can see it, you're not sure if it gets narrower, you're not sure if you can play out of that. So play for the shot where we're staying away from the trouble, we're trying to look for the flattest land, so we've got the easiest shot into the green. And then from here we can be positive, we can attack the flag or attack the green and make it as easy as possible. Just because it's a short hole doesn't mean it's instantly driver, doesn't mean it's instantly a birdie chance. Let's play our shot, let's be consistent, let's play for the ball flight we've got on the day, and then we're able to get into these positions more often and be able to try and hit the green. I've got around about 140 yards now. It's a little bit uphill, so I'm playing it as 150. It's also a little bit into the breeze, as just across. So I've got a little A-time, so I'm going to grip down the golf club. So I'm going to grip down it to take a little bit of speed out. This club normally would go 165, so grip down it to take a little bit of speed out of the club head, and then commit to a normal swing. That's the thing here, we're not trying to guide it in. Now I've gone down the grip, that should take care of the rest. So came out a little bit right, and a little bit short. So I've taken out a little bit too much there, a little bit short of the flag. So I've got a chip and a putt, but I've missed to the right, not intentionally on this occasion, but that gives me the most green to work with and the best chance for me to be able to get up and down. So I didn't commit to that shot, so I've left myself a tricky shot, not a great lie either. But first thing I'm going to do is assess the lie and then go up onto the green and see where I can land that ball to get it as close as possible. And at this time of the year and going into the season, that's something you need to be aware of. How firm is the green? How soft is the green? Where do we want to land that? And then that's going to help us pick the shot and pick the trajectory. Quite firm on the green for this time of year, so I'm going to have to play this a little bit higher, so maybe a mid to high trajectory. So I'm going to open the club face up a little bit, even off this bad lie, then be nice and positive with the motion. Pretty good there, so came out mid to high. Wanted it to land a little bit further, I needed a little bit more motion. I've left myself certainly around about 5-6 feet, so let's hopefully get out of here with a par. So it does seem the flags are a bit on the drunk side this morning. Right, so a little bit more work than I wanted, but again I'm going to go through my process. And guys, we are doing clinics, or I will be doing clinics in May, so if you're interested, please contact me on the email that will be on screen now. A little bit of aim point. Quite a big slope on this one, probably more than we would think. So, good routine. And just caught the side. So guys, a tough par there, a tougher par than it was on stroke index 1, but playing off the tee with the shot shape that you are playing with today is essential. Then from there, knockdown shots is something I clearly need to work on. I haven't hit one for a while. Left it out to the right, but I missed in the place which gave me the most amount of green that's possible. If I'd have missed onto the left hand side, would have been short-sided, we would have been dead. So when you are playing those kind of shots, think about where the miss is potentially. If you've got more green to work with, then you can have a better chance of getting the ball onto the green, knowing how it's going to react and knowing what you're going to be left with to hopefully get out of there with a par or a bogey at worst. So not the longest of holes, but still not easy, guys. Make sure you take your time, good course management, and you're going to be able to get out of here lowering your scores and moving on to the next hole. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again later in the week.